All right. So, guys, this is what it comes down to. This is how bad the Devin Vassell hate train has become. Everything is emotional. For anyone to take Jonathan Simmons over Devin Vassell in any context, I think is insane. It all comes down to, oh, Simmons dunked sometimes. You know, he had some cool dunks, and the Spurs were winning at the time. So I would take Simmons over Devin Vassell. There is no world in which you should take Jonathan Simmons over Devin Vassell or Keldon Johnson. No world whatsoever. This is crazy. You can go down, like I said, Jonathan Simmons' stats, bro. His last year with the Spurs, he shot a worse percentage overall than Devin Vassell. He shot worse three-point, and this is a down Devin Vassell year, mind you. A worse three-point percentage. He was 29%, and he has 6 points. 6 points. All this comes down to the emotions that people felt at the time. We went to the Western Conference Finals. People remember him playing hard, playing his best, playing tough or whatnot. But at the end of the day, it comes down to talent. If anybody, this is why I think the Devin Vassell hate train is just too much. I just posted this. We're already at 118 votes. This isn't going to change in the next 23 hours. It's going to be 50-50. There should be no 50-50. Devin Vassell over Jonathan Simmons. We do this with so many different players, bro. Trey Jones is gone. He's gone. No one really cared, but people still tell you how great Corey Joseph was. Right? They still tell you how great Corey Joseph was. Do the same thing with all the players. Bruce Bowen, Spurs legend, easily. Sure, I agree. But then they will say like, oh, he's so much more talented than some of the other players that we have. He's not more talented than Sohan. He's just not. He wasn't more talented than Sohan. That's revisionist. That's revisionist history. That's just you thinking back on the fond memories and that we were winning, and you think that player was better, and that's not necessarily true, right? I mean, you can look at the stats of lots of players from when we were winning. They were great for that team. They were great for those teams. But if you take them out of those games and you separate them from those games and you put them in modern day, you will want them traded too. You really want me to believe Thiago Splitter would be beloved by Spurs fans on this team? Get out of here. They'll want him traded. Just nostalgia from the good old days. It's nothing but nostalgia. There should be no reason in any context in which Jonathan Simmons should get as much love as Devin Vassell. No context. This is actually quite insulting. Try my best to keep it neutral, right? I didn't want anybody to change their vote based on it, but just wanted to show something. This is crazy. This is actually crazy. No context, this should be a thing. On guy, everybody wilding out now. This is how it is, man. You have a down year, and even in his worst year, he's better than Jonathan Simmons. Jonathan Simmons lasted a few years in the NBA. You really want me to believe that he just got a bad shake? That's all it was. It was just a bad shake. People just hooked to the story. You know, he had a very inspirational story, but he lasted a few years in the NBA, and I don't think he lasted 4 years in the NBA just because the world was against him. Clan is comparing stats and talent, while poll votes comparing hearts and efforts. What good is your heart and effort when it gets you 42% and 29% from three? Who cares? First off, I think Devin Vassell does show a lot of effort. That's number one. Okay, I do think that. And also, he's just way more talented. Clan, you can't compare statistics, Clan. You can't compare talent. What about the heart? Who cares about the heart? What do you mean? Who cares? Does it matter? Does it matter? No one cares. And Devin Vassell is much younger. Devin Vassell's 24. This was Jonathan Simmons' stats when he was 27. Simmons or Bryn Forbes? Well, I think people should probably choose Simmons based on some of the Bryn Forbes allegations. Yes, heart of a champion. Heart of a champion. Oh, thank God he had that heart of a champion. That really got us far. Thank God he had. All it comes down to is the Spurs were a winning team, and he happened to be on that squad. Was he competitive? Sure. Did he play hard? Sure. Did I like him? Sure. But I mean, we have comments here talking about how they're basically the same player, but one makes less money. Are we serious? Vassell is not the same player as Jonathan Simmons. Not even close. They don't play the same way at all. Patty Mills or Vassell? Ooh, you just hit me in the heartstrings a little bit. You hit me in the heartstrings a little bit. Ooh, you hit me in the heartstrings a little bit. Why you do that? You shouldn't do that. Vassell overall is a better player than Patty Mills. I know, but he is. He's a better player than Patty Mills. Ian, what is your argument? He said, what the F argument is this? This is absurd. Wait, I don't know if you're talking. Oh, wait, you might be talking about this person. That they're the same player basically, but one makes less. That is an absurd argument. They are not the same player at all. I hate that you guys made me like do Patty or Devin. Why'd you do that? Devin's more talented than Patty Mills. Devin Vassell is the most talented shooting guard we've had since Manu Ginobili. Why'd y'all do that? Why would you do that? I love Patty. Why'd you do that? It's funny how some fans act like it's the end of the world on a wash season. Yeah, for real. You with Patty? Patty was a monster. He was a monster. I'm gonna go with Devin though. Clan, how dare you undermine Patty? That's a disgrace. Vassell isn't better than Patty Mills. Yeah, I think he is. The Simmons thing? I don't know what you're saying. I asked what you thought was an absurd argument, and then you just said the Simmons thing. Like I don't know. I don't know if you're referring to me, you're referring to this person. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. There's no world in which you take. At least with Patty, I can see the argument because Patty had a lot of moments where he would just go off, right? A lot of moments where he'd go off, and he was he was a pretty consistent 3-point shooter, right, for what he was. But Patty Mills isn't capable. Patty Mills, throughout his career, isn't capable of putting up the same numbers that Vassell is. Oh, hold on. Let's see. What was his best year with us? 11.6, 38%. Yeah, his 3-point percentage was crazy, man. He was so consistent from three. He was so consistent from three. It's really good from three. Anyways, no, I would still take Devin over Patty Mills. Even though I love Patty. All right. You guys shouldn't have done that. I don't know why you did that. At least with the Patty one, I kind of understand it a little bit, right? A lot of clutch moments, consistently with us, always reliable for the most part. Played good defensively, played with a lot of effort, played with a lot of heart. I get all of it. Like, all of it makes sense with him. Sorry, Simmons doesn't. That makes no sense. If you guys want to argue me about Patty, that's fine. But I would take Vassell. Sadly, I think Vassell is used to losing since the tanking day. Let's not think too hard about this, all right? Let's not think too hard about this. I mean, do we just go ahead and say that about everybody? Like, Wemby is used to losing, you know. Keldon is used to losing. I don't think they're, like, used to losing, you know. This is what it is. Simmons was a flash in the pan for us. Simmons was just a flash in the pan in general. All right. Looked like the percentage getting a little bit better, but I wonder if some of the chat members are jumping on here to try to help it out. I don't know. Anyways, point still stands. This is ridiculous. The Patty thing, obviously, we could argue about that, and I don't even want to push back on anybody that says they would rather take Patty, because Patty was great. He was awesome. Genuinely was great. But I do think Vassell's capable of being better than Patty Mills, you know. Devin is tradable. Devin is tradable right now. Okay. I never said he wasn't. I never said Devin Vassell wasn't tradable. Funny thing about it is Jonathan Simmons wasn't tradable at all because he had no value. That might be mean to say, but like it just is what it is. Yeah, Patty makes sense, but Simmons does not. Oh, okay, Ian. So you were agreeing with me this whole time. Okay. Yeah, I was like, dude, I can't tell if you're agreeing or not. You can't just put in the chat, like, what is this argument? While in the middle of me making an argument. Like, I don't know. Simmons, like, what the F? I would even take a Jackson argument over Simmons. Oh, Steven Jackson. Dude, yes, Jackson. Yes. Captain Jack over Simmons. Yes, yes, yes. This is all. My only point is it's all emotional. This hate for Devin is just too much. It's too wild. People will go to the numbers and say, well, look how much he's making. Oh, wait. Okay, I don't know. They would say how much he's making and then compare other players to him that's making the same, not bringing up the fact that he's on a diminishing contract, not bringing up the fact that other players that are making the same, like Jamari Grant is having a worse year than him, or DeJounte Murray was having a worse year than him before he got injured and he can't even play, so why are we even bringing him up? And other players that also are making similar amount that he is, but having worse numbers. They will not bring that up. They would just say, Devin Vassell sucks, he's trash, he's garbage, get him off my team, and I would rather take Jonathan Simmons. If I just show somebody these stats, and then showed a stat with Devin Vassell's stats this year on his worst year, or one of his worst years, and I just compared the two and I said, hey, who would you rather take? No one's taking this. No one's going to look at this and say, well, he had effort. He had effort. He worked hard. He worked hard, man, for that 29% from three. I ain't going to take that. People are harsh, though. And honestly, the reason why I can bring up stats with these two is because it's not even really nuance. There's no nuance here. There's nothing that I think Jonathan Simmons brought to the table that doesn't show up in the stats. I truly do believe that. Intangibles are huge. I think Devin Vassell shows the same amount of effort. I don't think there's anything separating the two as far as like this is one thing that Jonathan Simmons did better over Devin. I don't think so. Anyways, Clan, how much would you wait for Devin? And if he doesn't recover his best version? Just wait a couple years, honestly. I mean, look, he's about to make $24 million next couple years. Like, I think that at the end of the day, Devin is like a fourth option on a team, which fourth options can afford to be a little inconsistent sometimes offensively. Just wait a couple years when we get more talent. And if he doesn't fit as that fourth option and it's still not panning out and he's a sore thumb, which I don't think he will be, but if he is, then maybe it's time to cut ties. And you'll be able to because his contract is great. Danny Green or Vassell? Danny, probably. Maybe Danny. Because Danny's defense was really good. It was really good. Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, I might need some time on that one. Because I think offensive-wise, Vassell is more talented than Danny Green. But Danny Green is like the ultimate role player, And like when I start saying you're going to be the fourth option that we go to, you're probably in a role player, more so role player role. Man, he was the ultimate role player. Danny was more consistent. No, Danny Green was inconsistent. All right, don't get it twisted. He was very inconsistent. So, anyways, in this segment.